But the reality is that every man and every woman, but every man has these things in them that actually fucking drive us profoundly, but we deny and pretend that we don't have them.
Absolutely.
And what the world needs is like recognition. Oh no, that we all have them, and let's actually fucking look at them and like reckon with them.
Yeah.
That's what people need, because fucking especially men, but everyone is just in denial. No, I don't see it. It's not there. No, I don't need any support from women.
It kind of reminds me of when you hear guys talk about when for some reason their relationship doesn't have enough sex in it. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I don't even know how that happens. Like that, because it never happens to me.
You're like, I get plenty of sex. I just need some support.
I swear, it's so fun.
Babe, could I trade a little bit of sex for some support?
It sounds so fucking stupid. It sounds so stupid. Oh, I'm totally serious though.
Totally.
I'm totally serious.
Yes. No, there's this reality that all shrinks know this, but nobody fucking else is in every man, hidden in every man is a little boy that has all these little boy needs, and we're so fucking not okay with that we lock that shit away, and then it just comes out in all these other ways.
Yeah.
And we drink a lot to like try to like suppress that thing.
Yeah, get rid of that fucking guy.
Totally.
He's gonna, because he gets shamed.
Coming all the way from Minneapolis to Washington, D.C., we now bring you Enter the Freud.
You're like, dude, that lady who I was so into, like, dude, she says these fucking things to me.
Yeah.
Right? Like my girlfriend, dude, I swear to God, sometimes I will try to get her to be what I think is supportive. It's fucking insane. It's insane. And I will literally say, like, okay, honestly, today's been a really fucked up day. You know it has. We already talked about how much I'm juggling, what I'm dealing with. Why would you say that critical shit? Like, dude, don't say that. Here, I'll write down what to say. When I come in the door, just say, "Hey, babe," like, dude, it's just like, "Oh, it's great to see you. You seem to be doing so well handling all the stress. Wow, look at that. You want to come over here?" Like, I need something from her. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
I know what I need. I need some reassurance.
And it's just like, hey, you're great.
That's okay. That's it. That's what I'm talking about.
Totally.
Right? I come in. I need to just be reassured that I'm doing a good job.
Yeah,
it's
totally.
hard as fuck. It's going to be hard for another month or so.
Yeah.
Right? And I just need, like, I need a little, like, pat, like you got this. Like, I'm watching you. You've been awesome in the past. That's why I'm here.
Totally.
Right? Like, you're the fucking man. Like,
totally. Well, and that's like when the kindergartner comes home from his first day at kindergarten, he's kind of like, oh, that's just like, hey, buddy, it was okay. You did good. Way to go. Like, it's just like a human need. And the kindergartner gets it.
Yeah.
But everyone needs that every day for our entire lives.
Yeah.
But then men are supposed to not need that.
Yeah.
Right? But you would think stereotypically, the man comes home from work, like you think of the 1950s thing, and the wife gives that to him. Hey, honey, how was your day? You know, like the Leave It to Beaver, June Cleaver, like gives that to Ward Cleaver or something. You kind of think. But I guess that men don't actually get that.
Well, I could say that I fucking don't sometimes, right? And I don't always need it, but when I do, for some reason, and Mel, I don't mean to be like a dick right now, call you out, but dude, we fight about this shit all the time, so fucking you know exactly what I'm talking about. So
you've told her,
yeah,
but she won't do it.
No, it's literally like outside of what she does.
It's maybe just her world view of like that she doesn't do that to people, or she doesn't do that to her man or something.
It might be because she has so many girlfriends and she's in this girlfriend group and they're so fucking all about each other, right? So I know that's what they do to each other. I've actually watched her do it. And she'll like answer the phone and just be like, oh, mushy, 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 mushy. Sometimes it's in fucking German. I don't even know what she's saying. But yeah, she totally does that with them. But with me, it's like some kind of code that she's not supposed to.
But she's not supposed to go into that supportive thing to you.
Yeah, which as we got more clear on, it's more than just support. It's directly saying, like, it's more specific than the Leave It to Beaver kind of a thing, where it's just like, oh, how was your day? That's not good enough. Mm-hmm. That's fucked up. I don't even want that. Yeah. No, I literally want to be told straight up, like, hey.
It's just like, I'm so happy to see you.
Yeah, I'm happy to see you, and I can see that you're freaked out, and here's why it's going to be okay. Uh-huh. Some cheerleading.
Yeah.
Right? Some cheerleading.
It's all right, babe.
Yeah. It's like, all right.
Of course you had a stressful day. Fucking life is hard, but it's all right because you're awesome and like...
Yeah, I do that for her, okay? I do that for her. It's so funny talking about this shit. Like, yeah. I do that for her. Lady, you know I do, right? I sound like such a whiner right now. It's funny. I totally do. But then, it's so funny because this is literally the reverse discussion of what women complain about all the time.
Yeah, right.
That dudes don't sit there and listen. They just want to come up with a solution. I got that in a woman. I swear to God.
Okay, but
we're playing that role.
Right, but the question is it just have to do with your current woman, or is this a thing you've repeatedly encountered?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do. I can create this in any woman.
So you're the woman before Mel,
yep.
You would have the same problem with her.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a unique ability to produce this.
And a lot of women, if you go back in terms of your long-term relationships, this is a common theme.
Yeah.
And so then the psychoanalytic question is, and then was this a theme as a kid, like with your mom or dad or something?
That's fucked. I really don't.
Because your mom seems super good at that.
She is unmatched in her ability to be...
Well, then the thing is maybe she was too fucking good. And now you need too much of it. Your mom never prepared you for how little you actually fucking get in the real world.
Okay. Now, this is where, if anyone paid attention to this story for more than 5 minutes, like, this thing is one of those knots that cannot be undone. Because as you start to look at just me specifically and my story and the if you try to do any psychoanalytic move, it's not, you can never undo it. Because it's true. My mom, you're right. She is unmatched in her ability to
do this thing.
Do this exact thing. But then, like, obviously I wasn't with my mom for most of my life and most of my childhood. And so...
Oh, and so maybe you're like, you had little tastes of it when you got it, but then most of you were fucking starved of it.
It's possible.
And that starvation still just like haunts you.
It's possible, right? Like it's possible that during some forced separation periods, which started obviously at 6 months and then a year and then on and on and on until I lived far away, far into the Himalayas. If you can, that's the stupidest shit that we'll have to unpack.
Yeah,
that
he's got
sometime.
Crazy stories of growing up in the Himalayas. Hopefully we'll get him to tell us some of those.
Yeah, that. Well, I mean, for some reason, right now, having such a good story and such a deep history allows me to sit here right now and act like this much of a pussy and say, like, yeah, I actually have this girlfriend who I need her to support me and tell me that I'm the best. Tell me I'm the coolest. I can handle all the pressures and all because I get myself into some seriously messed up situations financially and just professionally. I mean, I'm a magnet for that shit, right? And I always somehow pull it off, if that's even the right way to describe what happens. But yeah, it's weird, right? Like I know it's wrong, right? As I'm sitting here talking about
What's
this.
wrong?
I know, like, to be a guy, the way that I posture myself in the world, but to admit what I'm doing is a massive contradiction.
Well, it's breaking the like American male rule.
I can feel as I'm saying it.
But the reality is that every man and every woman, but every man has these things in them that actually fucking drive us profoundly, but we deny and pretend that we don't have them.
Absolutely.
And what the world needs is like recognition. Oh no, that we all have them, and let's actually fucking look at them and like reckon with them.
Yeah.
That's what people need, because fucking especially men, but everyone is just in denial. No, I don't see it. It's not there. No, I don't need any support from women.
Well, I mean, look at right here. I'm sitting here, and it's hard for me to articulate it, right? Like, just to say, oh, yeah, this is something that I need, and I then get in fights with my girlfriend so stupid that I'm willing to write down what she should say, right?
Have you written it down?
No, but I threaten. Right? That's
just write down the script and give it to her and be like, tonight, sweetie, when I come home, read this.
Yeah, read this to me. But she won't fucking do it. That's the point, is right? She won't.
What does she say when you tell her this?
She says, she gets actually mad and says, you're being like
a pussy?
You're being a jerk, or it's very offensive to her. Right? Because for some reason, the way that it comes out, I'm super agitated.
Oh, because you say it kind of in an angry way.
Totally.
Like an accuser, like, you're being bad by not providing this to me.
Yeah.
But so if you said it in a caring, gentle way, would she be able to do it?
Probably. But since I've never done that, the only time that you would, because look at the problem. The problem is I'm breaking code. I'm breaking code right now, admitting that I'm a dude who fundamentally can trade up my girlfriend anytime for another one, right? Be like, oh, and of course, this is what we all fucking try, right? You're like, okay, you're not doing it well enough, so I will trade. I'm gonna get someone else who will say the right things and do the right things, right? But then, unfortunately, like, at this point, I'm willing to just acknowledge, all right, like, I probably would like this. Like, I would like, it kind of reminds me of when you hear guys talk about when for some reason their relationship doesn't have enough sex in it. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I don't even know how that happens. Like, that, because it never happens to me.
You're like, I get plenty of sex. I just need some support.
I swear, it's so fucking.
Babe, could I trade a little bit of sex for some support?
It sounds so fucking stupid. It sounds so stupid. Oh, I'm totally serious though.
Totally.
I'm totally serious.
Yes. No, there's this reality that all shrinks know this, but nobody fucking else is in every man hidden in every man is a little boy that has all these little boy needs, and we're so fucking not okay with that we lock that fucking shit away, and then it just comes out in all these other fucked up ways.
Yeah.
And we drink a lot to like try to like suppress that thing.
Yeah, get rid of that fucking guy.
Totally.
He's gonna, because he gets shamed, as is what's happening with me.
Yeah.
As I come out in my juvenile and or frustrated, I don't even want to call it juvenile, because I'm coming out in a grown-up frustrated way, right? As I come out to my girlfriend and say, like, what the fuck? Like, dude, and I do actually, this is kind of my presentation, which is, I should just be straight up about it, to where I'm like, dude, you know how fucked up things are for me right now, right? And you know that I have to, like, I'm stressed out, so why can't you just understand and then just, like,
Right.
just, like, have my back? Just have my back and say the stuff that means you have my back.
Yeah. That way of communicating, I think, would work if you were talking to a dude. But I can see how talking to a woman, that's just like accusatory and threatening.
Yeah.
Whereas what she needs is like, hey, sweetie, could you do me a favor? Like, when I come home tonight, could you just kind of like tell me how great I am? That'd be so great. I'd really appreciate it. And then if you did that, I'd give you a foot rub.
Yeah.
Like if you said that, she'd be like, sweet, let's do that. And then it would happen.
Then it would happen.
Yeah.
Right? But then I don't know. I don't know what we need some gay dudes to talk to about like what happens when they try to do it, because they're both guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you have two guys, which I used to talk to these gay couples back in San Francisco, right, in psychotherapy, and talk to them about the fist fights they would get in. And
I haven't heard that story.
Oh yeah, I don't remember which.
That in gay relationships, they'll go into this fucking male testosterone versus
and
male.
beat each and fight physically.
Oh, fuck.
Right, like in the way where men and women can
Don't
never
do that. No.
They can never do that.
So the way it goes in men and women in my past relationships is they physically beat me, and I kind of like try not to let them, and then occasionally I'll laugh, and that just makes it worse.
Yeah, dude, that's the exact. I don't know who I was joking with about this just the other day, where I was like, yeah, it's crazy because the ladies will often physically attack you. And because you're a dude, and to some extent, well, it depends. Like if you feel like you're not in any real danger, you just let them hit you, and then, but actually you kind of can't do that because you can't do that around your dog, because the dog will run in the other room and get scared. You can't do it around any other friends. Like if people were in the room and watched it, they would be horrified.
Yeah.
If your parents saw it, they'd be like. They'd run in and try to stop it.
Yeah.
If a child sees it, they will be traumatized. But for some reason, as guys, you're just like, fuck it, I'm a dude, right? I let another guy punch me in the face, right? Just because I'm drunk and I'll fucking kick your ass, right? So you're like, this little lady, she hits me, kicks me.
Yes.
Dude, it's the silliest shit. What are you doing? What the fuck? I told you not to. Dude. Don't kick the balls, right? You just like try to cover the nuts. Dude, hey, I fucking told you, you try to hit my eyes. I know, like, and I don't mean to be like a total fucking psycho, but I've thought of that a lot when I've been hit and attacked by a raging girlfriend, and I didn't do anything wrong. It was totally not my fault. Is that there's something, it's almost like therapeutic for her that she can totally like drop into her animal nature and completely come uncorked on me, and nothing happens, no one gets hurt, and it's all good. And I'm like, fuck, I want to get to do that. Yeah. Where I can just like go, just like full violence. If I did that, there'd be blood and death and destruction everywhere. So I can never do that. It's like some cathartic experience that I'll never get to experience. No.
And women get to do that. It's fucking unfair. I want that shit.
No, you would have to then somehow be paired up with a giant...
Yes, a huge, giant MMA, like...
MMA chick who is like... But they don't grow that big.
No. No, I'd have to be paired up with... I'd have to be in a relationship with a giant MMA man.
Yes.
And then I can just go absolutely spaz, angry, come and punch, and he can just take all the punches and put me in a nice hold and be like, it's okay, I love you. I want that. That'd be a good therapy. If there's anyone out there that I'd pay you to like provide that therapeutic experience for me.
Oh my, I actually think we could arrange for that shit.
Totally.
Actually, I guarantee you could arrange for that.
Yeah, that could be a new modality of healing.
Sometimes you have your finger on the pulse of humanity, right? So another guy is telling me about how he seriously has this issue of constantly being ultra masculine because he's afraid of like appearing gay.
Mm-hmm, totally.
Right? He has this thing where he's like has this need to ultra mask his way around because otherwise there's a part of him that's a little feminine, you know?
I think most guys are doing that in one way, shape, or form. And it's back to what we were talking about easier is like the little tender boy with vulnerable needs in us is like, no, I can't show that thing, so I have to like, oh.
Right? And then to confuse him as gay.
Yes.
Because the statistical probability that little kid inside you is gay is actually, well, there's something severely wrong with that. Because
Totally.
kids aren't even sexual.
Right.
right? So to superimpose gay phobia on that is even more distorted.
And super common. And it's just like you were saying earlier, you're breaking code by admitting that you want support. Well, some people watching this will be like, that dude's gay. He wants support. That dude must be gay.
Yeah, fucking fag, dude. That obviously underneath that, he's seriously that's exactly what his issue is.
Totally. And that's a huge thing of what homophobia is like dudes who are terrified of their own little vulnerable boy.
Yeah, even someone hearing you say that would be like, I'm not fucking afraid of him.
No.
You're gay.
Yes.
Yeah, dude, don't fucking say that about this thing that's happening.
Totally.
Like, don't. Speaking of breaking code, I think that's even a bigger deal. Right, what you're admitting, that the fact that you're admitting that all of us have inside a kind of a self, that in the same way that you can see the difference between, it's easier to look at or accept that all of us have multiple versions of self, even though if I say like Dave to anyone else, they have an idea of you as a sole individual. Right? But then if I say like, yeah, but Dave, when we play sports, is this guy. But then Dave, you know how he is with the ladies, or Dave, you know how he is with his career. Like, oh, suddenly we have 3 Daves.
Yep, totally.
We have 3 different Daves.
Yep.
Right? You know how Dave is as a dad, right? Like how he just is like fucking always on his game, right? Like what is that? Now we have 4 Daves.
Yeah.
Right? Like
right.
And it's easy to point that out, but then God forbid we point out, oh, there's another one. Little baby Davy. Davy who needs a little caring.
Right.
Davy who needs a little, like, oh, he needs nurturing.
No way, that's not okay, that's gay.
That's, dude, and even the word nurturing, like, brings up an actual, like, feeling.
Yeah, let's go get in a bar fight.
I'm like, nurturing.
Stop saying that. You're making me uncomfortable.
Nurture. Who the fuck needs nurturing?
Right. Only gay.
And children, right? Like I raise my son and I nurture the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
But what I nurture is masculine shit.
Yeah.
Right? Like I nurture him to be a man ready for this world, which is in a way just setting him up to have the split.
And you kind of have to do that you got to prepare him for this world. You can't prepare him for the fantasy loving, gentle world that we wish he would live in.
No.
That's
true. Right? Like that's really a topic of parenting that goes deeper and deeper and deeper, of trying to save your kid from the inevitable pain. I was thinking about actually on this topic since, well,